Welcome to the solar system series known as Why, where we talk about the coldest sign in this ecliptic known as Scorpio. Now, to understand why Scorpio is this way, you need to know where Scorpio came from. First things first, Scorpio is fixed water, being fixated on your own way of feeling and adding emotion to things. And you ever wondered why people say, damn, that person is cold as an ice cube? They were probably a Scorpio. They were so deep, so dark, that they didn't share their emotions whatsoever because they probably feel that others couldn't handle it. Now, before we get sidetracked, let's explain where Scorpio came from and why it is the way it is. So, Scorpio was born from the 8th house. The 8th house is the life situation of anything you're unaware of in general. It's not that scary, it's just occult things behind closed doors, and as I mentioned, anything and everything that you are unaware of in general. Now, Scorpio is ruled by Mars, the planet of passion, willpower, aggression, motivation, intent, and basically any emotion that gets your ass up off the couch and actually doing something. Scorpio is also co-ruled by Pluto. To understand Pluto's influence, which is basically the power to change, you need to understand Mars, because Pluto is Mars multiplied to whatever degree you want above 10. It's so intense that it puts you through a transformation experience that will either give birth to something or kill something off. But that's kind of a conundrum right there, because to create the space for birth, you need to kill something off. Now, Scorpio is also away in Earth as well as Venus. Earth is the vibration of growth, structuring, nurturing, and if you want to really understand Earth, just throw a seed on the ground and watch a plant grow, and that's the vibration of Earth in a nutshell. Now, it's also away in Venus, as I mentioned. Venus is the planet of love, appreciation, values, as well as how you relate to others. Now, to move to the worst placement for Scorpio, we have the moon. The moon is your mind, your reactions, how you respond to things, as well as your emotional state. And these are the basic planets, houses, and elements, as well as modalities that break down the archetype of this fixed water sign. Now, with this being specifically about sun sign Scorpios, let's break down the sun. So, what is the sun? The sun it illuminates, it shines light. Without it, you wouldn't know what this physical world looked like from an illuminated perspective. You know, you would just touch, taste, feel, do whatever you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't see jack shit or feel jack shit. Well, I mean, you'd feel it, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so the sun in a nutshell from an astrological perspective is the expression in general. It's the vehicle you express yourself through, as well as what you consciously see from the world. So with that being the case, let's start breaking down how Scorpio angles this. You know what I'm saying? So, Scorpio and Aries are both ruled by Mars, right? Aries is the masculine, Scorpio is the feminine. And Mars is the planet of intent, motivation, aggression. It's that warlike planet. If you remember the god Ares, same difference. Now, with this being the case, Scorpio is the feminine side, right? And with that being what Mars influences, this is what you are taking in. So with this being the sign that your sun angles, so you basically take in other people's intentions, other people's motivations. Sometimes Scorpio people know how to break down a motherfucker and see right through them like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying here? So with that being the case, how does this actually play out, right? So what sometimes Scorpio people see is if they see somebody lying or creating a semi-false truth, they will notice the subtle mannerisms behind these person's actions, and they won't necessarily call them out on it right away because they are the feminine side, you know. It's all about, Scorpio is all about receiving information and finding the perfect time to strike, you know. This comes from the sort of co-rulership from Pluto to where it takes time and they actually have to get to the point and brood and sulk and just focus on that emotion and be like, oh, damn, man, I should have done it when I did it, you know what I'm saying? Why didn't I do that, you know? These people the best way to describe Scorpio sun signs is they are some why motherfuckers, you know? They're always asking why. They want to know why this, why that. But you'll never hear them say it very often as much as they actually think it. Do you get what I'm saying? This kind of segues into Scorpios and how they interact with gut feelings. Scorpios and gut feelings is like, it's a real gift and a curse. Because since they feel so deeply and they're in that emotional realm, they'll just be deep, deep, deep down into where the actual esoteric space to where these gut feelings hit them, you know? They'll hit them all the time. A Scorpio will probably, and being that they are the feminine side to Mars, they will probably feel 75% of them, and the other 25% they may act on, you know? Because opportunities come and go. You have to act on them when they come here. But since Scorpio is stuck in this place of focusing on how they feel about it and how they act with it, they can't exactly act on it. Do you get what I'm saying here? They're not going to just do it and go for it. That's what Aries does. They love and hate Aries. They envy Aries for being able to just do that and just go, but they hate the fact that they can't do it themselves. And they hate the fact that Aries just burst out in it regardless of how people feel. Because they're so deep into how people feel, they're deep into all these emotions, they're stuck in these emotions, that they may just overanalyze and overestimate their actions and how they should go about doing things. Which is why are they so cold, why they are so precise, and why they can just strike so deadly. Because they know how you feel better than you do, they can see how you'll react to something better than you do, and they can act on it because they planned on it and put more energy more often than not than you. And this is why Scorpios are the coldest, the darkest. Just the, you know, I don't want to say the most evil sign, but the deepest sign, you know. They'll go the farthest, even when they don't have to. Which is why some people may just do certain things and act on a whim, and a Scorpio would have to go through so much brooding, so much like just staying down until they were ready to come up and actually go for it, that they just may act on a person doing something when they shouldn't, and just strike them down when they shouldn't. And they won't do this necessarily that much, but sometimes Scorpio people will learn this at a very young age going through these situations, you know? Now, with them also being the sun, this is what they're illuminating, you know what I'm saying? And they, since they know all these mannerisms, can see all this within people, they may not necessarily act on everything, because people, with this being where the sun is, people will see them as someone who's trying to be a slick motherfucker. Do you get what I'm saying here? Like, if this is where their sun is and this is what they're expressing, they're not always expressing, but they're either being reserved, cold, and unfeeling and not giving off how they feel, or they'll be, you know, like, putting their hands together like Mr. Burns and showing that they actually are doing some conniving shit. And people hate the feeling of seeing someone trying to get, like, you know, one over on them, you know? If they see you doing some snake-like shit, they're going to want to cut that snake's head off. Just like that whatever 13 Colonies picture that was going on, you know? They're going to cut your snake ass up just like that. Now, with these being some why motherfuckers, right? They ask the why questions about everything. They ask, why did this person do this? Why do I feel this way? Why am I doing this? Why did I act right then? You know? If you've ever seen or felt the feeling of being in school and you just said like here in study hall and your voice cracked, or homeroom or whatever the fuck you want to call it, you know, a Scorpio would run that situation over and over and over in their head and not, I don't want to say overanalyze and put too much thought into it, but they'll replay that feeling and go back to that space and focus on that space and try to rectify it all that they can and figure out all these different ways and why they did this and why they did it that way and why couldn't they just say it this way. They'll go through all that because they're stuck on that feeling. This is what they do. Do you get what I'm saying here? Now, these situations are kind of dependent on the individual's awareness level, right? Because Scorpios, they will and can be the type to prey on the weak, but you have to understand that whether a Scorpio can actually go through with this is based on their awareness level. Now, this is, if they're a low vibrational Scorpio, they will probably fall into the category that broods a good amount, maybe like 60% of their time, but they'll be the type that is more expressive and focused on trying to get one over on people, but being seen as that type of person, you know? They're like a snake amongst worms, if that makes any sense. Now, a high awareness Scorpio, you will never know till it's too fucking late. These people will just jab right into your ribs, rip your heart out, and you'll be like feeling the ghost version of a thump, and then next thing you know, you're dead and they got one over on you. You know what I'm saying? I know that's a deep, dark explanation, but hey, Scorpio, man, my hands are clean. Now, let's run down the planets and break down why we explained it this way and how you can learn it for yourself. So, Scorpio is the fixed water sign. This means they are fixated on their own way of feeling and adding emotion to things. Scorpio was born from the 8th house, the house of deep, dark, basically anything you're unaware of in this realm. It's just the dark. There's no light shine on it. There's no awareness of it. Scorpio is ruled by Mars, the planet of passion, willpower, intent, motivation, as well as any emotion that gets your ass off the couch. It's co-ruled by Pluto, basically Mars multiplied by 10 or more. That puts you through a deep, dark, transformative experience that will bring a birth stage after you kill something off. And this isn't like a person or anything. This is a habit, a thought, or a feeling, whatever you actually engage with in this life. Pluto will make you go through some bullshit to get something new and get rid of the old. Now, Scorpio is also away in Venus. Venus is the planet of love, appreciation, values, as well as how one relates to others. It is also away in Earth. Earth is the planet of scheduling, growth, nurturing, and basically all of the supplementary aspects that can help a seed grow. Now, Scorpio also falls in the moon. This is your mind state, your emotional state, how you react and respond to things. Scorpio hates this. It rather would be asleep or die than have to deal with people's emotions, mind state, and feeling comfortable. It more often than not doesn't feel comfortable and makes it a habit out of feeling uncomfortable. Anyways, thanks for following the solar system series known as Why, where we talk about the coldest sign in this ecliptic, Scorpio.